Hi children, this is Venkatramana. Today's class, 8th class, Physical Science, second unit, Friction chapter. 8th class, Physical Science, second unit, Friction chapter. Now what is meant by friction? A friction is a force which comes to play whenever two surfaces are relatively in motion to each other. And which opposes that relative motion is known as a friction force. Suppose if one object is, suppose one vehicle is moving on the road, then a frictional force automatically comes to play, which will try to stop the motion of the vehicle with relative to the road surface. That is known as a frictional force. So frictional force always try to restrict the relative motion of one surface with relative to another surface. That is known as a frictional force. Now, frictional forces are of mainly two types. They are static friction, sliding friction. Static friction comes to play whenever two surfaces are relatively rest in position. Relatively rest in position. If we people vertical on earth, then earth is going on revolving. But we will be at rest position with respect to earth surface. Then in that case, we won't fall. Why we won't fall? Because a static friction act between our legs and what you call and the surface of the earth, which always try to oppose the motion of the earth, rotation of the earth. Then that is a static friction. Because of static friction, without skidding and without falling, we will rotate along with the earth, and also we will revolve with the earth around the sun. That is because of static friction. Next is sliding friction. What is sliding friction? It will automatically comes to play. Sliding friction comes to play when there is a relatively motion, when there is a relative motion between the two surfaces. If two surfaces are relatively in motion, then that is said to be which frictional force will comes to play. Sliding friction comes to play. That means whenever what we call vehicles move on surfaces on roads, then sliding friction which will comes to play and try to oppose the motion of the vehicle with relative to road. That's why without skidding of the vehicles, without what you call falling of the vehicles, safely vehicles can able to move or run on roads because of sliding friction. In that way, we have types of friction: sliding friction, static friction. Static friction comes to play whenever two surfaces are relatively in rest position. Sliding friction will comes to play whenever two surfaces are relatively motion to each other. Now, in both the cases, this frictional force will try to oppose the motion of the one surface. So, like that, we have a force of friction. And what are the factors which will affect the force of friction? There are mainly three factors are there. Number one, roughness of the surfaces or smoothness of the surfaces. If roughness of the surfaces is more, frictional force will be more, motion of the object on that surfaces will be less speed, with slower. Means the frictional force increases with the roughness of the surfaces. It may be what we call floor surface, and it may be moving object surface also. So the roughness of the surfaces increases the friction, force of friction. So force of friction is directly proportional to roughness of the friction, so roughness of the surfaces. Next one is area of contact. If the body may contact with a larger surface area with the one surface or smaller surface with another surface, irrespective of the area of contact, this frictional force will act. That means frictional force won't depend upon area of contact. Frictional force is independent of area of contact. Next, third one is normal force. What is a normal force? Perpendicular force acting on the surface. The force which will act perpendicular to the surface is known as normal force. If a perpendicular force acts, then it will oppose the motion of that object relative to another surface. That means when the normal force increases, then frictional force also increases. That means frictional force is directly proportional to roughness of the surfaces and normal force, but independent of area of contact. In that way, we have a factors which will affect the frictional force or force of friction. Next question is arise, is friction is necessary or it is an evil? We have a advantages with a frictional force and disadvantages with a frictional force. In some cases, we have a advantageous works will say advantages. In some cases, it is a disadvantages. So, where it will advantage, where because of friction, we can able to walk, we can able to run, vehicles able to move on the road, and what you call even we are without falling to the space, we are going on rotating and revolving around with the help with the earth means with the surface of earth is due to friction. Even we can able to write with the pen because of friction. Okay, so even if we can able to stand is because of friction only. So in all these cases, friction is advantageous. Whereas in some cases, like a doorknob, it is very hard to do close, and the bicycle, what you call the bicycle is very hard to ride. Whenever what the crank wheel chain become it will be occurred it will rust formation occurred on the crank wheel chain. Okay, in that cases, even in machinery parts of the what you call factories, if they're going on run for long extent of time, they will be heated because of friction produces heat. So in all that cases, friction is disadvantageous. Friction is evil, we can tell. Friction is evil. So like that, friction force is necessary and friction force is evil also. Now, friction produces heat. Friction produces heat. Friction produces heat. Whether friction produces heat or not, let us see discuss. Friction produces heat. Yes, friction produces heat. Now, try to rub two palms of your hands, vertically against each other. Try to rub two palms of our hands against each other. Then for at least 2-3 minutes, if you rub like this, then what we will experience? We will experience little bit heat. Our palm will become warm, and even sometimes what you call the skin may be what you call peel off because of heat. That means because why the what you call heat is produced between the whenever two palms are rubbing against each other because of friction. Frictional force acts between the two surfaces, which automatically comes and play and try to restrict, try to oppose the relative motion of these two surfaces. As a result, we may get little bit heat or we may get little bit warm for our two palms. When it is winter season, what we will do generally, we will rub two palms early morning. We will do like that and we'll keep like this. Why? It will give little warmness to our cheeks. Then as a result, we will feel little bit warm to we are giving little bit warm to our body, heat to our body. That means why the vertical heat is produced? Because of rubbing of these two palms, because of frictional force which acts between these two surfaces, which you try to restrict or try to oppose the motion of these two palms. That's why heat is produced. We know that whenever any energy is stopped in one form, it will convert into another form. when you are going on rubbing these two palms, we are creating mechanical energy with our what to call body energy. So this mechanical energy is tried to restrict by the frictional force. That mechanical energy will convert into heat energy. So because of that heat energy only, our two palms will be appeared, we will get a heat. Even if you observe what you call burning of matchstick, burning of match box, burning of match box, what you call burning of matchstick with what you say on the match box, and we can able to get fire. Why? Because the temperature increases, the temperature increases whenever we rub matchstick on against the what you say against the this match box. Now let me take one matchbox. I don't have a habit of maintaining matchbox. That's why it is taking this much time. And the members who have a habit of maintaining matchbox can able to get matchbox very easily. Now, so if I take one matchstick and if I rub like this against the match, what do you call this rough surface of the matchbox, so what happens? Heat is produced. Why heat is produced? Because temperature increased whenever I rubbed this matchstick against the what do you call rough surface of matchbox, against the rough surface of matchbox. This is the rough surface we have. As a result, when the temperature increased, then the gunpowder, which is what you call which is to the matchstick, will catch fire, and we can able to get fire. That is because of friction. Frictional force will try to restrict the motion of matchstick against the what you called match that rough surface of matchbox. Because of that friction, temperature increases on the what you call this rough surface of the matchbox. Then when the temperature increases, this matchstick will catch fire. In that way, when you rub two palms, or when you rub what you call matchstick against the what you call rough surface of matchbox, temperature increases. It proves that heat will produce. Heat will produce. Even whenever if you take two small what you call rocks, two small stones, and if you're going on rub each other, what you call ancient man, which old age man, first discovered fire, because of rubbing of two rocks against each other, you will get sparkles. You will get sparkles. That is because of friction increases the heat, increases the temperature whenever two rocks or two stones are rubbed each other. Two stones are rubbed each other. Even to sharpen the what you call knife edges, or to sharpen the scissor edges, what you call the people will going on rotate the wheel, and they will place that knife, or they will place that what you call scissors sharpened to that rotating wheel. As a result, then friction will act between that sharpened of the knife and that rotating wheel surface, which will try to stop the rotation motion of that wheel. As a result, temperature of the two surfaces will increase. Then we can able to see some sparkles will tangent out, means come out outside. Sparkles will come out. That is also because of friction. So what you come to know? Friction produces heat. First of all, heat was discovered by the what you call ancient people or old age man by accidentally rubbing what you call two stones against each other. Some sparkles occurred, scintillations they observed. Scintillations means what you call getting out of what you call sparkles. Sparkles he observed, and he feared, he was afraid of that sparkles. But later on, when he want to cook that one, any raw meat or raw what you called that flesh, just he used the two stones rubbing against each other, and he catch the fire to the he fired the sticks, and he started cooking. So in that way, what we call, because of friction, we can able to see heat is produced. Even what we call some, if you observe the, when train is moving very fastly on the railway track, some sparkles we can able to see on the railway tracks because of what we call frictional force act between the sides of the what we called wheels of the rail and the railway track surface, which tries to stop the motion of the train. That's why friction will produce the heat. Because of that heat only, we can see some sparkles. We can see some sparkles. In that way, we can tell that what friction produces heat. Friction produces heat. So we discussed some a few examples where friction produces heat. So in next session, we can able to discuss how to increase friction or how to decrease friction, and what makes friction reduce and what makes friction increase.